I'm Elissa Chong, and my husband's Creighton Chong. He couldn't join us today, but our little heart warrior is Kobe Kakoa Chong. He was an extraordinary little boy, and he lived up to his Hawaiian middle name, Brave. Well, Kakoa, which means brave, is what I meant to say. And we adopted a little nickname for him, Little Turtle, which we discovered he liked things slow and steady, so that's why we named him that. And he was a twin. He was born on March 12th, 2020. And unlike his twin brother, he was diagnosed with a rare congenital heart defect called total anomalous pulmonary venous return, which is TAPVR, and it's a mixed type. And if many of you don't know, it's 4 vessels where the pulmonary veins, they normally connect from the lungs to the heart. But in his case, all 4 veins anomalied up and didn't connect to the heart, so he couldn't oxygenate the way a normal heart would to the body. So he actually endured a lot of complications, and he, at 3 months old, went to be with Jesus on June 19th, 2020. So during that 100 days of life, he fought hard, and he had showed us just how strong and courageous he really was. He had a total of 3 open heart surgeries, 3 heart catheterizations, and then several procedures. And the most terrifying of it all was the tandem life support. It's a heart and lung life support machine. And he went on that 3 different times. The last time was like 35 days until he passed away. And that machine, if you don't know, has a arterial and a venous tube that hooks up directly to the heart. So the heart has to be open, the chest has to be open, and it connects to that. And it actually gives the heart and lungs rest so the body can heal and get rest. So that was pretty scary to see. It's a big, huge machine and noisy, and a lot of complications can come of that too. And typically it's 2 to 3 days that they're on it, and they want to get them off there right away. So that experience took a lot out of us, seeing our son go through that. He first surgery, he had no choice. It was a life or death, and we're just so grateful that we even had the opportunity to have surgeons that could do and perform these procedures to help give him a chance, to survive. Yeah, it was a shock. It was terrifying when I finally got to see Kobe in person, because when he was born in a different hospital, and they didn't have these capabilities and resources, so he had to be transferred. And when I heard his diagnosis over the phone, it was crazy, and I just wanted to make it all better, and I couldn't. So the medical staff warned us and comforted us and told us it's going to be a roller coaster ride, and it exactly was that. And we were grateful for their support. We had no clue how to navigate this. I had no idea the extent of congenital heart defect. I was unaware of what his diagnosis meant, and it was explained to me. Yeah, a lot of fears and scary times. And like I said, I'm so grateful for the support from them too. It's genuinely something that you just don't know how it feels or what it's like until you've been there. And they've been there, and they have a huge community that's been there and knows what we need and the support we need through it. So it's a safe place to ask questions and get help from people you understand. And I personally feel the most important thing is that I'm not alone in this. That's what helped me. It connected me, my husband, the other parents understood an entirely different world, having a medical complex child with congenital heart defects. Even though Kobe's not with us anymore, I'm still benefiting from it. I have their support. I get to see other children that are thriving and doing okay, or comfort those who are going through the same thing we are, who have lost the baby too. They've actually helped us celebrate Kobe's birthday celebration. They did some posts. They have events that we can go to and honor them. It's just an amazing way to be able to help, and also for me to give back for everything they did for us. We definitely relied on the medical staff, the doctors and nurses, because their expertise, they do this a lot and see a lot of children, unfortunately, like this. our faith in God. All I knew how to do is pray. That's all I could really do, and just trust everything going on, and our family that was there to support us, friends, and then all the organizations. There are a few other organizations that are there helping too, but Healing Hearts was a really significant portion of that. They had the heart cart there, and it may not seem a lot, but it was just massive gesture to me and my husband, who just never wanted to leave Kobe's room. And it provided like snack for us throughout the days, especially those tough days. It got me out of the room. When you're in the room, you hear all these noises, the alarms, the beeps, the machines, and just to escape that for a little bit was a breath of fresh air, just to think, getting the pleasure to meet other heart parents going through the same thing, and just talking to somebody that's going through it as well. They sent care package, they sent surgery day meals, which we had 3 surgeries and then procedures. So we got a lot of meals from them, which was awesome. And then just to have that resource and somebody that I could call or talk to was pretty cool. Our situation was a little different than most because we actually were in the height of the pandemic, the COVID pandemic. So a lot of resources that were available weren't for us. Kobe was born 3 days before the hospital shut down. So they restricted visitors. They didn't let a lot of the therapies, like music therapy and just different things like that kind of help with your child in the hospital. So I really wish I had that, but that was just out of their control. And the Healing Hearts Project they weren't even able to go up to stock hearts. So that's when the staff stepped in and they started volunteering, helping do when they couldn't do it. But then also not knowing Kobe's diagnosis before he was born, that was a hard shock for us. And if we knew, we could have been more prepared. So I think those were like the 2 main things: having the more resources, which was kind of out of control of the hospital because of everything going on around us, and then also being able to have that diagnosis early so we can process it and figure out the plan and what we're going to do. I can definitely speak easy to having love and support that we needed during this time, even during the pandemic. We're just grateful for everybody that reached out to us, including our family and friends, but also the medical staff and Healing Hearts Project. I was immediately given a number, 2 numbers to contact other families that have been there through one of the nurses through the Healing Hearts Project, what they do there. And then just physically having snacks and just being given things, the care packages and all that just helped tremendously, even though it seems like small gestures. But when you're there and you're just at your baby's side and going through all this, those things just impact you so much and make you feel loved and not alone. So I speak easy on all the love and support that I got during the time when we were in the hospital with COVID.